not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Hey guys, Stargrab and Ingrid here,
Hello!
as we're continuing our Godzilla-san, or Godzilla Marathon, with Invasion of the Astro Monster.
Or if you're going by the American version, it's Godzilla vs. Monster Zero.
Yeah, exactly. Or if we want to be sarcastic, Ghidorah 3-headed monster do-over.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a sequel. It doesn't feel much like a sequel.
Yeah, it also doesn't really feel much like a Godzilla movie, to be perfectly honest.
I think they put too much emphasis on the space opera part.
Yeah, it felt like this was more of like a space politics movie that just happened to have the monsters as chess pieces, and so it was less of a Godzilla movie and more of a movie Godzilla happens to be in, with how everything was handled. You could have swapped it out with other monsters, and it would have more or less been exactly the same plot.
Yep, and this is the first movie to give us the alien invader story.
Mm-hmm.
Which, will be overdone as this series goes on.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
I will say this, though. They actually got an American actor involved as, Nick Adams as astronaut Glenn.
Yeah, I did sort of like how there was that element of sort of, hey, there's some actual collaboration between America and Japan in this one, and so that sort of makes the localization translation a little bit easier.
A little bit. I mean, not a lot, but a little.
Yeah.
But, you go on, continue what you were saying.
But yeah, it's like, it's not a bad movie. Let's not... don't mistake me for saying that. It's certainly better than Godzilla Reigns Again.
Oh yeah, that's our low standard at the moment.
Yeah, that one's currently the one we like to pick on for the bad one of the Showa era so far, but yeah.
Well, trust me, but we're gonna be getting into the other ones going forward soon.
Alright then. Good to keep note of, but yeah, it's sort of just like, the elements were interesting, and yeah, it's just, yeah, there are things that are cool, but it's just like, it didn't really feel like the parts of this movie that really hooked me were really the, like, parts that you would really know about for Godzilla. Like, it sort of felt like the monsters were incidental to the whole thing, rather than being the main plot. It's just sort of like, you could have thrown in and amped up Barney the dinosaur in as Ghidorah, and the plot would have been exactly the same.
Oh, I completely agree. Now, I should point out that the actor who plays the main controller of Planet X, that actor, that's Yoshio Teshuya, he's actually been in Godzilla Reigns Again, ironically enough. He'll be in Son of Godzilla, and one of his last roles will be in the Heisei era of Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. But he loved he was one of those guys who wanted to be in Godzilla so much. In fact, he wanted to be in the first one, but he was too busy doing Seven Samurai.
Ah, I see.
Yep, and the fact that he plays the first alien invader leader says a lot, that he kind of sets that standard.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Because
yeah, it's just Like,
But yeah, like, again, this just felt like you said, Godzilla was just there.
mhm,
In fact, yeah, they said, the whole once Godzilla and Rodan defeat King Ghidorah, they don't appear to the very end.
mhm.
It's like, really? I can tell, yeah, this felt more like, this is one of the cases of when people complain about the human plot. Yeah, this is a go-to example, but it wasn't a bad human plot.
It wasn't bad. It's just that's not what I came here to watch.
Which is unlike other ones where they are bad human plots, and you're just like, get me to the monsters. This is a case where you're like, this isn't bad, but this isn't what I signed up for.
It's just like.
Of course, then you have the we come in peace. Just kidding.
Like, all it can say is just like, yeah, you could totally see that plot twist coming from like a mile away.
That's the funny thing. This is what ended up setting the standard for that.
Oh dear.
Yep. But I will say this though. I won't say well say this. I want to ask this. Where do you compare it to some of the alien invaders we saw in Gamera?
Well, these aliens are a lot more smart and diplomatic, for instance. I feel like that's something I definitely have to give them credit for.
And it definitely, I think that it helped that this was done for families or adults, whereas, again, Gamera is for kids.
Yeah, where it's just like, you have to make something at least somewhat plausible, where it's just like, hey, we'll take these two menaces off of your hands.
Yep.
To deal with our problem.
Which I will give them, it's a clever idea.
It is a clever idea, because it's just like, what are they gonna do? Say that, oh, actually, we like these monsters that keep ripping up our cities?
Yep, but the other downside is, this is the moment where we start to get King Ghidorah never being his own threat ever again.
Yeah, or it's just
He's
like...
always gonna be that's the only time. Until, and now granted, the 90s one kind of has a brief moment where he's on his own, but until King of the Monsters, the Monsterverse version, we are never going to have another version of King Ghidorah being on his own as a villain again.
Well, that just makes me kind of sad.
Yeah, every other time he's operated by some other of the human side of the story.
Oh, dear.
Yep. So, that's why I said enjoy it while you could, because going forward, he's just someone's lackey or puppet.
Yeah, that's just like... my first initial impression of Ghidorah is like, this guy is like...
Hold on.
You there?
Yes, I'm here, Ingrid. Hold on. I'll just edit that out. My mom was calling me on FaceTime.
Okay.
Sorry about that, folks. Had to cut off for a few moments. I got a phone call right in the middle of our broadcast. So, anyway, but, though, overall, I give this, this is a mediocre.
Yeah, this is like a mediocre. A 7 or maybe a 7.5 out of 10.
I was about to say, I would say 7.5.
Because it's just like, yeah, it's not bad, it's just kind of,
But going forward for the next two movies are going to be some of the rough ones. Not the roughest ones, but this is the point where we start to see what happens when Ishio Hoda is not involved. And we already kind of saw that already with Raids Again, but going forward for the next two, we really see it.
Oh boy, I'll certainly keep that in mind.
The next one is Ebirah, Horror of the Deep, a.k.a. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, which was originally supposed to be a King Kong project, rejected in favor of King Kong Escapes, but not wanting to put the script or monster costume to waste, they decided, hey, let's put Godzilla in it. And trust me, when you watch it, you'll see it.
Oh boy, let's just say that slapping an IP on it so it'll sell better in something where it only kind of fits is its own kind of disaster.
Well, and the thing is, though, they don't even edit out the King Kong traits.
Oh boy.
I will say this though. Mothra, we get a full-blown Mothra back again,
Ah,
so that's good.
it sounds like it's going to be the one good thing, though, from how you're talking.
Yeah. Now, I won't say it's bad. I won't say it's bad, but it's one of those like it's going to probably be a case like this one again, where it's like, yeah.
Where it's just like, is this really a Godzilla movie?
I'll just say it's going to be so okay. It's average.
Ah, fine enough.
All right then. So until then, we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Bye.